University of Florida. From Florida Field in Gainesville, the Fighting Gators take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hello again, everybody. I'm David Steele with Lee McGriff, and welcome to the Gator Football Network. This weekend, the Gators against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And Lee, Florida leads this series overall 24-15-2, but Mississippi State always gives Florida a tough game.
They really do, David. Of course, it's the first SEC game of the year for Mississippi State. And in the last 3 years, of course, they beat us last year. In the two previous years, we had to come from behind after losing or being behind at halftime to win the game. And, of course, Mississippi State just puts a great deal of emphasis on winning this game, and they always come with a fine group of athletes.
Big and physical football team. Mississippi State always seems to beat the Gators up.
Well, they do. They've got people that can run, and they've got strong people. Traditionally, their problem is depth, and that's what happens to them at the end of the season. They tend to wear down because they don't have that depth. But when they come to play the Gators, depth is not a problem because it's early in the season.
The Gators look for their third straight win. Both teams come in with records of 2-1. We'll have the opening kick in just a moment. Gator football is brought to you by Dairy Farmers of Florida, Armstrong Carpet and Flooring, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, Eastern Airlines, First Union Bank, your Florida and South Georgia Ford dealers, Gatorade Thirst Quencher, Likes Meats, Miller Lite, Scotty's, Shands Hospital at the University of Florida, and Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue.
Hey, there's something new at Rax, the all-you-can-eat pasta bar.
Stuff your face.
4 steaming hot Italian pastas and delicious pasta sauces. It's a pasta lover's paradise.
Stuff your face.
Create your own Italian dinner at Rax after 4 p.m. weekdays and any time on weekends. The Pasta Bar.
Stuff your face. Stuff your face. Stuff your face.
Now you can make all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinners with the pasta that's added to the salad and Mexican bar at Rax.
Dedication, years of preparation, a Japanese commitment to excellence, perfecting an art. For hundreds of years, traditions have passed from generation to generation. Today, those same traditions can be appreciated in the engineering of one of the world's most reliable automobiles, Honda. What does that tradition mean to you? It means...
Y'all better get on down to Ken Atkins Honda today, you hear?
Ken Atkins Honda, Ocala.
Mississippi State kicks off to Florida to start the football game at Florida Field in Gainesville. 84 degrees at kickoff. And we're underway with the Gators' second Southeastern Conference game of the season. Willie McGrady fields the kick from James at the 10-yard line, and the freshman from Palatka goes down at the Florida 20-yard line. Eddie Miles makes the stop for the Bulldogs. Florida's offensive starters, freshman running back Emmett Smith and Kerwin Bell, Stacy Simmons and Tony Lomack, the wide receivers. Walter Odom having a fine season, the senior tight end, and a much improved Gator offensive line. Gators were penalized for holding. And quarterback Kerwin Bell looking to get his passing game on track here against the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
I think that's going to be an important part of this game plan is for Florida, once again, to establish their running game early, but get that throwing game to go to carry them through the season.
Emmett Smith, a lot of running room to the right side, and Emmett Smith the first down on the first offensive play of the afternoon on an 11-yard gain. Mississippi State starters, Anthony Butts, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, a fine defensive player. Darren Martin, an outside linebacker, and James Williams, outstanding talents as well. And Bo Russell, the free safety, leads that secondary. Mississippi State, defensively, this year has done much better against the rush than against the pass. The Gators looking to to go to the air with Stacy Simmons and about a 4-yard pickup. Kerwin Bell.
Stacy's got great speed and quickness, and he was just tripped up by the Mississippi State player. He might have had a 10, 15-yard gain. That's just a quick screen, a fake run to hold the linebackers, and Kerwin just throws it out there quickly to Stacy, having him on the outside, the chance to run with the ball.
Florida's Galen Hall began his head coaching career here against Mississippi State in 1984. Emmitt Smith. A nice cut to the outside and around the corner. Emmitt Smith all the way down to the 49-yard line. A 24-yard run for the freshman.
This is the same play that they were so effective against Alabama with, running to the split inside, close to the boundary. You've got David Williams and Bob Sims doing a great job. Anthony Williams makes a great chop block, and then Emmitt Smith just doing his thing, making people miss him all over the field, showing that quickness, gets up the field. Another great run by Emmitt Smith.
He's carried twice and has 35 yards already here in the first quarter. The Gators near midfield. And Emmitt Smith once again with good running room, and Emmitt Smith with 12 more yards. Once again, Smith in on the stop along with Carrero, the strong safety. 3 carries now for Emmitt Smith, and he's finding Lee a lot of daylight.
Sure is. This time he ran to the strong side. Over there where Tracy Daniels, Charlie Wright, Jimmy Davis are blocking. He gets up the field. He's got some help downfield. Excellent run.
Gators are at the Bulldog 39-yard line. They have already picked up 3 first downs. Early moments of the first quarter. Wayne Williams in at tailback. Nice cut to the outside. Wayne Williams to the 20, to the 10, and touchdown, Wayne Williams. 39 yards down the left sideline. Florida goes on top early against Mississippi State. Bulldogs driving back.
Mississippi State's got an awfully unusual looking way they line up before they kick the ball off, and evidently Florida coaches have seen Mississippi State use an onside kick at some point, where Florida's front line on the return has to be very careful.
Florida Gators with the ball at their 30-yard line. Emmitt Smith and Willie McGrady are the running backs in the I formation behind Kerwin Bell. Tony Lomack in motion, and it goes to the tailback Smith, and a good cut to the inside, and they hit him after a pickup of 4 yards. Martin makes the stop for Mississippi State. Gator football is brought to you in part by Dairy Farmers Incorporated, producers of real Florida fresh milk. By Scotty's, save on quality building products at over 140 Scotty's stores. And by Like's Family Favorites. Old-fashioned goodness is better. Bell throwing it, and he's got Stacy Simmons at the 20. Simmons breaking off across the 40 and finally goes down out at the 43-yard line. A 29-yard gain. Emmitt Smith picks up a tough yard. Rencher comes in off the left side of the defensive line to stop Florida's tailback.
In the previous play, Florida took Lomack and ran him through the safety, making him go deep, faking the ball to Emmitt Smith, causing Mississippi State's linebackers to come up and defend against the run, and Stacy Simmons slipped in between the safety and the linebackers. Wide open, Kerwin threw the ball right on the money, and that was a very nice play.
Gators at the Bulldog 36 on second down. That's Lomack in motion. And a reverse from Emmitt Smith to Stacy Simmons. Down the right sideline of the 30. Still on his feet at the 20-yard line, and finally taken down at the 15-yard line of Mississippi State.
Stacy Simmons, as we saw earlier on his pass reception, has great speed and quickness. And of course, Mississippi State has got to respect Emmitt. They're pursuing very strong, worried about Emmitt running the sweep. Another exceptionally quick Florida player, Stacy Simmons, coming back the other way, taking the ball, showing his running back ability, getting up the field, showing a lot of balance there, a lot of quickness, and a lot of fight. Outstanding play.
21 yards, and Kerwin Bell was out trying to get in somebody's way on the play as well. At the 15-yard line, and big Willie McGrady gets 3 rugged yards down to the 12. Bo Russell, the safety, comes up to make the stop for Mississippi State. It'll be second down and 7 at the Mississippi State 12.
Willie's done an outstanding job, certainly in this game and last week too, of blocking on the sweep plays and all the tailback plays that Wayne Williams and of course Emmitt Smith have done so well. Willie McGrady has just played a major part in that success.
Big pass, 29 yards to Simmons, a 21-yard carry on a reverse by Stacy Simmons, and the Gators are knocking at the door. Emmitt Smith looking for the end zone, but Emmitt Smith is stopped short of the goal line at the 4-yard line of Mississippi State.
Emmitt Smith showing his surprising strength time after time. That particular play, just being the regular sweep, it helped on the last play because they gave that the same look and gave the ball to Willie McGrady. Now this time the linebackers had to stop and think to wonder, will Willie McGrady run that ball again? And they pitch it to Emmitt this time. Once again, dominance by Florida's offensive line.
Gators really got him guessing on the defensive side. First and goal from the 4, and Emmitt Smith blows right up the middle for the touchdown.
What can you say, David? Just total dominance by Florida's offensive line. There's not much Emmitt had to do, but just run straight ahead. He gave them time to make their blocks, and you see Mississippi State players on the ground all over the field, and Emmitt takes it in. Outstanding drive by Florida.
Emmitt Smith's first touchdown of the afternoon. He had 2 last week against Alabama, 2 against Tulsa. Robert McGinney's extra point makes it 14-3. A 90-yard drive and a 70-yard drive. And the Gator offense has got it cranked up this afternoon. And there's John Spirito with a nice tackle on John Moore. Emmitt Smith off to a great start. 3 consecutive games now that the youngster has gone over 100 yards. Last Florida player to do that was Neil Anderson back in 1985. 3 consecutive 100-yard-plus games. Bulldogs were unable to move the football. Florida got some great defense from Jeff Roth and Clifford Charlton on a couple of sacks. And the Gators have it deep in their own territory after a Mississippi State punt. It'll be second down and 8. Florida from its own 10-yard line.
At this point in the game, Emmitt's looking a little bit winded. Florida coaches want to give him a break, so he'll be fresh for the remainder of the game.
There's Wayne Williams on Florida's first drive with 39 yards himself for a touchdown. Great production out of the tailbacks. Wayne gets 3 yards, carrying it to the right side. Simmons and Martin come up to make the stop for Mississippi State. Third down and 5, Florida from its own 13. Late in the second quarter from Gainesville. And the Gators on top, and the crowd enjoying this one 14-3. Big third down play for Kerwin Bell. Dumps the ball to Anthony Williams, and the big fullback has got the Florida first down out to the 20-yard line.
Kerwin looking down the field, looking like he wants to go the split inside, keeps his poise, finds Williams over here, and right there he doesn't have the first down, and he gives great second effort and makes the first down. Outstanding play, Anthony Williams.
Late in the half, and Florida going with a shotgun with Kerwin Bell. From the 20-yard line, Bell fires it downfield, and Darrell Willard makes the catch and steps out of bounds, stopping the clock after a gain of 17 yards.
Mississippi State right now is playing with two safeties deep, trying to prevent against the pass instead of one safety. The cornerbacks are playing about 10 yards deep, and Darrell Willard just slips deeper than the cornerback about 15, 16 yards deep and in front of the safety here. Kerwin throws the ball with great touch over the corner's head for a nice first down.
Gators work on that 2-minute offense every day at the end of practice. And we've seen them time and time again under Kerwin Bell come up with big plays in the 2-minute drill. This time Bell fires one incomplete. Walter Odom in the area, but Kerwin really just trying to get rid of it. It's 2nd down and 10. And again, Bell wants to throw. He's got Willard in Mississippi State territory all the way down to the 34-yard line of the Bulldogs.
This is the same play we saw earlier with Stacy Simmons coming across the middle. Lomack on the right side runs Mississippi State's safeties deep. He's going about 30, 40 yards deep. Willard slipping out behind the linebackers. Looked like Mississippi State might have been in some kind of man-to-man coverage there, and Willard doing a good job of beating his man across the field. Kerwin putting the ball right on the money. Kerwin's looking sharp today, David.
He's been on the money just about every time. Only 36 seconds left in the first half, and Florida up by 11 points and hoping to get more before the intermission. Bell back to throw. He's going deep for the end zone, and Stacy Simmons and a lunging catch and the touchdown.
And Mississippi State came with a blitz that time. Kerwin picked it up, saw it coming, set his feet. Stacy Simmons doing an excellent job with his great speed and getting on top of the Mississippi State defender, running to the post, protecting the ball with his body. That wasn't the prettiest pass that Kerwin ever threw, but it sure was a good one.
That is the first touchdown reception by a Gator wide receiver of this season, and that has got to do wonders for the confidence of that young group. The extra point by McGinney makes it 21-3.
Again, you can see the protection. Here comes the blitz and the linebackers. Kerwin showing his poise. Stacy 101 against the Mississippi State defensive back. Great catch.
Our halftime score, Florida 21, Mississippi State 3. Turn out to the 19-yard line. First half stats, and the Gators dominatingly.
Total offense is 3 times as great for Florida as it is for Mississippi State. As you can see, 322 yards to 122. In the first downs, Florida has twice as many first downs as Mississippi State.
And no turnovers by either ball club. Bulldogs were unable to move it on their first offensive possession of the third quarter, and Florida got it back after a short punt by the Bulldogs at the 49-yard line of Mississippi State. Emmitt Smith rambling for 7 yards down to the Bulldog 42-yard line.
That play starting off to the split inside that they've run so successfully, but Emmitt brought it back behind the center.
Gator football presented by First Union Bank. New banking power for you. By Armstrong Floors. Only Armstrong has the richness of inlaid vinyl floors. And by Miller Lite. Great taste and a less filling beer. Kerwin Bell wants to go deep, and he just overthrows Stacy Simmons at the goal line.
Same play that Stacy scored on in the first half, with Kerwin faking the ball to Emmitt to hold those linebackers. Stacy having one-on-one coverage down there. Little help from the free safety as far as Mississippi State is concerned, but Stacy had him beat, and they just missed it.
Kerwin has not missed many this afternoon. He has been about as sharp as a quarterback can be throwing the football. Third down and 3, and Emmitt Smith breaks into the clear, and Emmitt Smith's gone. Touchdown, Florida. 42 yards on the touchdown run by Emmitt Smith, his second touchdown run of the afternoon, and his 6th of the season. Well, that didn't take long. A 49-yard drive and 3 plays, and Emmitt Smith gets the big chunk of it.
Mississippi State, their defensive line was in a stunt, which means that their defensive linemen were doing some shenanigans trying to fool Florida's offensive line, and they took themselves right out of the play.
Florida with an early touchdown in the third quarter. To 3 after Emmitt Smith's 42-yard touchdown run. Lee and I will be picking our Mid-State Federal Player of the Game. A lot of stars developing this afternoon offensively and defensively for the University of Florida. Robert McGinney kicking it off once again. John Moore can do nothing but drop to one knee. And the Bulldogs bring it out to the 20. Here's the replay on the touchdown.
Mississippi State was blitzing, and as I mentioned earlier, they were in a stun on the defensive line, and Anthony Williams picked up the only guy that was a threat to Emmett, which was Mississippi State's linebacker, and he chopped him right down. And anytime you blitz like that, this is what can happen to you, particularly when you have a great back that you're playing. It's feast or famine. Feast for Florida.
Bulldogs at their own 20-yard line, first down and 10. Albert Williams back operating. The Bulldog offense finds an open spot on the turf at Florida Field, and it's incomplete. Fred Hadley was the intended receiver. Already Emmitt Smith with 149 yards this afternoon. Third consecutive 100-yard plus game. Kennebrew fumbles the football, and Gerald Dickens has it for the Florida Gators. That ball was knocked loose by Lewis Oliver, as you'll see on this replay.
Williams wait for this to materialize. Mississippi State receiver gets right between our corner and safety Lewis Oliver stripping the ball from him. Mississippi State player had control of the ball. Lewis Oliver making a nice play and shaking it loose. Gerald Dickens, I believe, got on that fumble.
That is the first turnover of this football game. And with 12:21 left in the third quarter, Florida has the football back, and Bell is throwing it over the middle, and Wayne Williams cannot hold on in Mississippi State territory.
Florida's offense on that play was trying to threaten Mississippi State deep by both wide receivers, the tight end and the back. They were all going deep on that. And Kerwin threw that ball just a little bit low, but it was a catchable ball, and it's too bad because it would have been a nice gain. It was a good read by Kerwin. Threw it to the right place.
It's second down and 10. With the lead blocked from Willie McGrady, and an 11-yard gain for the tailback. Out to the 45-yard line of Florida. Banks brings him down.
This is nothing new. It's a play they've run time after time and run it effectively, so they ought to run it time after time as they have. And as you can see, or did see, there was lots of green grass to run. Wayne Williams picking up a nice gainer.
Gators have dominated this game from the very beginning and have got great production from the tailbacks. Emmitt Smith up around 150 yards, and Wayne Williams having a good day with a touchdown and some big carries as well. Bell throwing it downfield. He's got Willie Snead, and Willie Snead makes a fine lunging catch at the Bulldog 35-yard line.
Well, I'm sure this play warms Kerwin's heart. Play action fake. Willie Snead coming across the middle. Linebackers up tight. Kerwin steps, throws that ball to the open spot right past the linebackers, and Willie coming across, concentrating on that football and making a great play.
Willie's out of Belle Glade and a transfer from the University of Virginia. He caught 9 passes there in 2 seasons with the Cavaliers. Wayne Williams running the right side and takes it out of bounds at about the 30-yard line of Mississippi State. The linebacker Neal was in on the play for the Bulldogs.
Just running the sweep again effectively. Walter Odom over on this side, this right side, dominating his man, the defensive end, making it nice and soft for Wayne Williams to pick up good yardage.
Second down and 5. And Bell's going for the points deep, but nobody's there.
Looked like there was some confusion on this play. Kerwin thought his wide receiver was going to run a post pattern. Receiver made a different read and ran a deep curl pattern, turning to the inside. Kerwin just throwing the ball where he thought he had to, on rhythm and on time. They just weren't thinking the same thing on that play.
Florida is now third down and 5 at the Mississippi State 30-yard line. leading the Bulldogs 28-3. Frazier in motion. Wayne Williams looking for the hole up the middle and gets 3 yards down to the 27-yard line, but he is going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards. And Florida will send on its field goal team to try and add to this 25-point lead. Now let's see if we can get this ball placed down on the tee this time. Andy Newman snaps, the freshman out of Jacksonville. Steve Ewing is the holder, and Robert McGinney tries one from 43 yards out, and it's good. With 10 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter, Lydell Curry from the 20-yard line. Curry finds some running room down the far side of the field, and John Spirito catches him from behind and brings him down. A 36-yard return for Lydell Curry. Mississippi State was unable to move it. And with 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter, the Gators have it back at their own 26-yard line. It is second down and 13. Anthony Williams, 7 yards, and the safety, Bo Russell, makes the stop.
On the previous play where Emmett lost some yardage, Mississippi State's linebackers were really pursuing hard. Florida comes back, takes advantage of that pursuit, and slips the ball to Anthony Williams, who picks up a nice gainer off what appeared to Mississippi State to be the sweep.
A lot of candidates this afternoon for our Mid-State Federal Player of the Game. Florida just putting a licking on Mississippi State. Bell throwing it, and Emmitt Smith makes the catch. Cuts to the center of the field and driving past 2 or 3 defenders. The ball pops loose, and Florida recovered the football at the Mississippi State 48-yard line. Jimmy Davis fell on that football. Great effort by Emmitt Smith. And we'll see if it looked like he may have been down when that ball popped loose, but it was hard to tell.
Emmett was the second choice by Kerwin on this play. He's wide open. Kerwin makes the right read. Emmett showing his good hands, his great quickness, picking up the extra yardage. There you can see there's a hand on that football. Emmett doesn't fumble it too often, David. Of course, Jimmy Davis doing a great job of hustling down the field and making that into a good play.
Pretty close to his knee being on the turf, too, when that ball came out. But Davis, hustling downfield, makes the recovery. Bulldogs were also penalized for roughing the passer on that play. So the Gators penetrating even deeper in Bulldog territory, and Anthony Williams makes the catch.
Mississippi State's doing a pretty good job of covering Florida's receivers down the field. Kerwin doing an excellent job of giving that time to materialize and being poised and dumping the ball off to his backs when it's not there.
Bell approaching the 200-yard mark in passing here this afternoon. From the 27-yard line, it's second down and 4. Emmett bounces off a couple of folks and takes it down to the 20-yard line of Mississippi State.
This is Emmitt Smith just showing his great balance. Mississippi State coming with some different looks defensively, trying to make something happen, forcing themselves upfield, but Emmett showing his great vision and balance on that play.
Florida is first down at the Bulldog 20-yard line. Bell throwing it for Anthony Williams near the goal line, and he can't hold on to the football. It'll be second down and 10. Rocky Felker, Mississippi State's head football coach, was also quite a player at Mississippi State. You remember competing against him?
Remember Rocky only too well. He's a great player at Mississippi State, and their starting quarterback for 3 years and was all SEC. His senior year, just a great leader. They had some outstanding teams when he played there.
Having a tough afternoon, though, here at Florida Field, watching his team lose big so far into the Florida Gators. Emmitt Smith high steps over one man at the 20. Look out, he's headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith for the third time this afternoon. He has scored 7 touchdowns now in his last 3 games.
That run is one of those situations when a picture speaks, it's worth 1,000 words on that. There's not much you can do to describe that run. Of course, he got some outstanding help downfield from his wide receivers.
Robert McGinney's extra point is good. And the Gators lead 38-3.
Starting to come off tackle. Nice block there by Williams. Emmett showing his balance, slipping outside. Stacy Simmons right there on the corner gives Emmett the room to turn up that field. And when Emmett gets up that field and gets near that goal line, he's going in that end zone. Outstanding.
Football back after another short Bulldog possession with under 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and Willie McGrady gets 9 yards out to the 45-yard line of Florida. That guy, when he gets up ahead of steam,
you notice
tough to bring down.
When people try and tackle Willie McGrady, they're about 2 inches off the surface. They don't dare want to hit him up by his shoulder pads. They try and knock him down by the ankles. And the thing is, when they try and knock, he tries to get as low as they do and knock them in the head.
He loves the contact. An all-state defensive lineman at Palatka High School last year, also played fullback. And there you see him clearing away for Wayne Williams, who turns the left corner for 10 yards. Down to the Bulldog 45-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, Willie McGrady was a state champion wrestler, too.
Pepe Lescano, Florida's quarterback on this possession. Kerwin Bell having wrapped up a fine afternoon. That ball batted down by Darren Martin, the outside linebacker. Lescano, the walk-on and former team manager at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Plantation. Second down and 10. Lescano hands it off to Wayne Williams, and about 4 yards down to the 41-yard line of Mississippi State. As we near the end of the third period from Gainesville.
Pepe changing the play at the line of scrimmage, too. Saw something he didn't like. Play must have been going to the right side there. Pepe turning to his backs and letting them know that he was changing the play. Picked up some positive yards.
Emmett Smithley has set a new Florida record for 2-game rushing total with 397 yards last week against Alabama, this week against Mississippi State. That is a new school record for back-to-back rushing yardage. He broke an old record set by Jimmy DuBose in '75. Oh, what a great catch by Tony Lomack at the 28-yard line of Mississippi State. And that's the end of the third quarter. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, and Mississippi State takes it over after a Jamie McAndrew punt at their own 20-yard line. Albert Williams under center for the Bulldogs with 14 minutes to play in the game. Williams looking to throw it, and going deep down the left sideline. It's juggled, and a great interception by Kerry Watkins at the 49-yard line of Florida.
Outstanding athletic ability exhibited there by Kerry Watkins. His job on this play is to guard about 10 yards deep, and if nobody comes in front of him, then he can give ground. And Kerry gives ground because there's nobody underneath him. He jumps up for the ball. Look at that concentration, hangs with the football, and makes an outstanding interception.
Bolden was the intended receiver for Mississippi State, but Watkins managed to tip that ball up in the air and then keep his wits about him and make the interception as well. Just an outstanding play by the sophomore from Pensacola.
At this point, I'm sure Mississippi State's offense wonders what they can do. They can't run the option. They're having a hard time throwing it, having a hard time running it.
James Massey now in at tailback, and look at Massey into Bulldog territory and all the way down to the 21-yard line. 30 yards on the carry by the senior from Monticello. Fullback Darrell Perry out with the lead block. And Ernie Mills, the wide receiver.
Excellent job of blocking by the whole Florida offensive line and the wide receivers. And Massey making an outstanding run, and that's wonderful because he's been a team player since the beginning of this season, contributed heavily on the special teams, and just being a positive guy.
He's been moved, fullback, tailback, played special teams, never once complains. Here's the pitch to Massey, and the tailback cuts it back to the inside the 20-yard line, and down to the 18-yard line of Mississippi State. Massey made the stop.
Massey showing quite a bit of quickness here for a big guy. Showing good vision, running the sweep play and cutting back. And as you said earlier, he's been a fullback and a tailback. And a guy that big being that effective at tailback's impressive.
Second down and 7. Florida threatening to put some more points on the board. They've already piled up 38 this afternoon and held Bulldogs to only a field goal. Massey with the big hole up the middle, and James Massey gets the football all the way down to the 11-yard line of Mississippi State. It's first down and 10. Gator football is sponsored by your Florida and South Georgia Ford dealer, home of the best-built cars and trucks. Shands Hospital at the University of Florida, Florida's referral hospital, and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep-down body thirst. Florida, Massey fumbled the football, but the Gators fall on it. Down at the 10-yard line, Bob Sims, the guard on the right side of the line, alertly fell on that football. Massey never got the handoff from Pepe Lescano.
Somehow they just missed that exchange, and Massey never did have control, and Sims did an outstanding job of hustling around and recovering that fumble.
Gators were penalized for a delay of game. It's now 2nd and 14 from the 15-yard line, and Darrell Perry gets a yard. Rocky Neighbors makes the tackle for Mississippi State. That'll be 3rd down and 13. Next week, Florida takes on the LSU Tigers, who this afternoon played to a tie against Ohio State in Baton Rouge. Lescano throwing it, and it's intercepted by the linebacker, Hooker. Leonard Hooker picks off the Pepe Lescano pass. Mississippi State, though, unable to move the football once again, and with 7:53 left in the football game. Florida football, and Herbert Perry is the Gators' 3rd quarterback of the afternoon. The freshman from Mayo and Lafayette High School, the same high school that produced Kerwin Bell. And Perry is throwing it. Willie Snead makes the catch. And Snead is out to the 44-yard line of Florida.
That's a good play for Herbert Perry to loosen himself up on. He just takes 3 steps, sets up, shows nice poise and rhythm in his motion. Willie Snead just goes down the field about 7 or 8 yards and stops. Mississippi State's defensive backs giving him room, giving Willie Snead room to catch the ball in front of him.
Florida's gone to its wide receivers this afternoon time and time again, and that young group appears to be growing up out there this afternoon. They have come a long way. Darrell Perry gets a couple of yards, and it'll be 4th down and 2 at the 46-yard line, and the Gators call for a timeout. Gators leading it 38-3. To punt the football, and what a heads-up play McAndrew makes. It looked like that kick was going to be blocked, and McAndrew ducked up underneath the defender and rams that ball out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Once again, that Gator defense throttling the Mississippi State offense late in the football game. We're down to the 4:26 mark with Florida on top 38-3. And the Gators with the football from their own 38-yard line. And Herbert Perry trying to click up with John Spirito, falls incomplete. Lee and I will be picking our Mid-State Federal Player of the Game in just a few moments. The Gators with a lot of heroes this afternoon and have looked very impressive against this Southeastern Conference opponent. 2nd down. James Massey gets another opportunity. Those Florida tailbacks, Emmitt Smith, Wayne Williams, and James Massey, have done a tremendous job this afternoon of toting that football.
They really have, and I think it's a tribute to the character of this Florida team. Whether you're way ahead or way behind, it takes some character to keep battling, and I see a lot of intensity left in this Florida offense and defense. Even with a 38-3 lead, that speaks highly of this team.
Florida has used a whole lot of folks on both sides of the football. There you see Kirkpatrick, Brad Hatcher. Kirkpatrick, 88, the tight end. Hatcher, 76, the offensive lineman. Jamie McAndrew checks in to punt the ball away on 4th down.
McAndrew's done an outstanding job this year. We mentioned earlier in the season he was thrown to the wolves or in the fire probably before he was ready out of necessity last year, but he's really come on and done an outstanding job for Florida with his punting.
Also a fine pitcher for Joe Arnold's Florida baseball team, and his dad, Jim McAndrew, had a good major league career with the Padres and the New York Mets. Bill Lang put with time running out on the Bulldogs. Eric Underwood, the 3rd Mississippi State quarterback, carries it. And Raji Gordon out of Lakeside High in Atlanta makes the stop. On 1st down and 10 from the 29, the Bulldogs pick up 8 yards.
Pass and takes the push. 1st down, Mississippi State.
Florida's defense holding the Bulldogs to only 3 points here in this football game. A first half field goal by Logan, and that's it. Last week held the Alabama Crimson Tide to just 14 points and then shut out Tulsa 2 weeks ago, so they have demonstrated week after week to be one of the top defenses in college football. Underwood with a man draped around his neck cannot connect with Marcus Bush. Raji Gordon again, along with Tony McCoy, big number 71. Kurt Young, number 2, getting some time at a cornerback spot. Jerry Odom, number 57, an inside linebacker, freshman out of Merritt Island.
Jerry Odom's dad, Gerald Odom, was an all-SEC guard back in the early 60s and just an outstanding player and is now the head coach at Merritt Island High School, where Jerry Odom played for his dad there and had an outstanding career.
Glenn Neely almost had to sack, and Underwood, scrambling, gets 14 yards all the way out to the 42-yard line.
The last 4 or 5 defensive plays, young Jerry Odom at linebacker has been involved in every single play. This guy plays with outstanding enthusiasm and plays on a lot of special teams, and if you believe in heart and enthusiasm, this is a great kid to watch.
Mississippi State on 1st down, and Underwood sets up in the pocket, and it's intercepted by Jerry Odom. The freshman scampers out of bounds with the football.
I'm not sure anybody could ever have a better 6 or 7 plays than Jerry Odom just had. Showing his outstanding hands, as most linebackers would like to have. Heads up by Jerry Odom, making a nice play on that interception.
First of what I'm sure Jerry Odom hopes will be many interceptions in a Florida Gator uniform. Wearing that number 57, some big shoes to fill there. 57, Scott Armstrong, who did such a great job as a Gator linebacker for the previous 3 years, and now Jerry Odom steps in there at linebacker and wears Armstrong's number 57. Only 46 seconds left in the football game, and Curtis White carries it for 9 yards up the middle out to the 48-yard line of Mississippi State.
We're seeing Florida's offensive substitutes and defensive substitutes coming in and playing with great enthusiasm and intensity. Act like they're having a good time playing football today.
Up 38-3 against Mississippi State. That's good reason to have a lot of fun out here.
You bet it is.
Curtis White running hard to the left side. Gets 5 more yards, and that is going to be the final play of the football game. A very impressive victory for the Florida Gators of Coach Galen Hall over the Bulldogs of Mississippi State University. The Gators with offensive production, a balanced attack, over 500 yards in offense, and dominate the Bulldogs defensively as well. So the Gators have won their third consecutive game in their second straight Southeastern Conference contest with a big win over Mississippi State.